So hi everyone, my name is Brain Sakwa and good morning or good afternoon or good evening in Tamale. Actually have to apologize for my inability to be with you guys. Other equally important assignments has kept me away from this important meeting. But first of all, let me also express my profound gratitude to the founder of this NGO who has invited me to share my thoughts about something that she has started that is very inspirational. At the age of 19, you have started something that most elderly people have seen, but like have not given much recognition to. But through your efforts, I know the difficulties that you've gone through, you have made it, and I think that we are so proud of you. Um, I'm also grateful for all the speakers that have come and also to you, the participants, for coming from all your schools. Even though you have curfews in your community and then you have conflicts also in your community, but through it all, you were able to come for this event. You are all welcome and congratulations. And as a young change maker, I generally dedicate my time, resources, and strengths to initiate projects as a writer, documentary producer, and other stuff. I'm also a global shaper at the World Economic Forum and have some kind of project that I run. But could you imagine if I could have achieved all these things if I had been living in a conflict zone area? If I live in a community where I have to go to bed at 4 o'clock, or a community where I get out to urinate or do anything at 6 o'clock and then somebody shoots me. No, all this is not possible. That is the reason why I want to share with you this short message that conflict really matters. First of all, what is conflict? I know that I'm not in the best position to define conflict because maybe of the experiences that you guys have had over the long period of time, maybe even before your birth, or maybe during your birth. Maybe some of us have even gone through some personal experiences, or you've seen people being shot or people being slaughtered with knives and all those kind of stuff. My father's experience will actually be the ones that I've seen in Nollywood movies, or maybe our own Gollywood movies of maybe the Kumawood people killing themselves. Wikipedia, the global online encyclopedia, also refers to conflict as some form of friction, disagreement, or discord arising within a group when the beliefs or actions of one or more members of the group are either resisted by or an unacceptable one or more members of another group. But somebody also said that conflicts can never have a universal definition. Yes, because the situations and mode of outbreak may differ from various communities and from various organizations. Now, let's talk about the type of conflicts. For the research that I've made, I've discovered that we have four types of conflict. One is interpersonal conflict, which refers to conflict between two individuals. We have intrapersonal conflict, which are conflicts which maybe one has to battle within. We also have intra-group conflicts, which happens within organizations, and we also have inter-group conflicts, which also happen in between, like between two different organizations. But I think the most central one among all of them is the intergroup conflicts, which actually transcends to all other types of conflict, and that is exactly what you guys are also experiencing in your community. Sometimes you might see conflict and see that okay, everything about it is a disadvantage, but I think it also holds some advantages to it. Even though they are meager, they actually try to actually help other people also to actually build things. But I think they are not our priorities for us to use to actually encourage conflicts to be happening in our community. From some things that I've learned, they say so while the conflict is associated with negative encounters, it isn't always for the bad reason that few people engage in it. It has advantages which become meaningful when they are resolved. One, we get to foster awareness of problems that exist through conflict. We get to create rules for discussing conflicts, views that lead to solutions that can be used to solve problems in other communities. We get to have our unity bond stronger if we are able to survive conflicts. And we're also able to identify loopholes in our relationships, among other very important ones. But I think that one of the things that we need to talk about that is very important is about the disadvantage that we need to use to discourage conflict in our communities. That is why we want you guys to join on board to become ambassadors so that we can fight conflict in our various communities in the northern region. One, curfew. Today, all of you guys are maybe might be leaving the venue very early because you might don't want any police to shoot you, or any security forces to actually chase you out. So if you have to live in a community where there's curfew and you have a friend somewhere who can go to bed at any time at all, I think that is a very great disadvantage to you guys, and we actually have to encourage you guys to come on board to help us fight conflicts. It also causes displacement. I know some of your friends have left your community to other places because they can't stand the curfew and other stuffs in your community. So through conflicts, they have been displaced. Some of them, they are not living in better conditions, but because of what is happening, they have to endure whatever things that they have to go through. It also brings famine, low quality of education. Some of you guys are not able to access the best educations. Maybe you have to close on school very early. The time that you need to learn, you can't use it to learn because you are actually embedded somewhere. Lack of recreational activities, you don't get the opportunity to roam about your communities because you know that it's a restricted area. We have also death of elderly people who have the knowledge to help us solve problems, but at the end round, people end up killing them and all those kind of stuff. And low productivity. If we have farmers or we have people who have to go to work, it means they have to close from work early, and then it gives them the opportunity not to be that productive as others in other communities are. Breed of orphans and widows. We have rape issues, and then it destroys our economy and creates bad status for the country and for the community that it's coming from. Because if you Google your community right now, you could find out that the first thing that will come out is about conflicts. If not, just try and Google the name of a community and see if whether the first results you get to see. In other countries, conflict has disturbed them a lot. You won't believe in Nigeria, Boko Haram has killed a lot of people. When you remember in Syria, over 220 people have died so far. In Nigeria, 13 people. Afghanistan was for decades, has killed over 18,000 people. Children and everybody has been displaced. Guess what? The World War I has killed 405,399 people, and over 670,000 of them were also wounded. World War II recorded the most brutal cost of death, resulting in over 60 million deaths across the world. In Ghana, our communities are few. You guys happen to find yourself in those communities. We want to encourage you guys to go out there and become very good ambassadors. It's time for you guys to tell your parents that you need to unite. It's time for you to actually serve as ambassadors for people and prove to them that yes, through their MindShift Foundation, they can actually get some resources to do all these kind of things. For the solutions that we are suggesting, we need to consider conflict management. We need to bring minds together, we need to bring people together and tell them that conflicts can be managed, and through that, we can actually come as one and become fruitful in everything that we want to do. Thousands of people have died because of conflict. If conflict hadn't been there, I'm sure they would be alive and a lot of beautiful things would have come out of it. I want to encourage you guys that we need to rewrite the history of our communities. We need to rewrite the history of our country and tell our children one day that because of what we decided to do or because of a step we took to join the MindShift Foundation, all of these things are things of the past, and I hope that you guys will join us to make it happen. If we can change the mindset of young people, we strategically position the future into the right path. Our conclusion: Malala, a young person from Pakistan, yes, is won the Nobel Peace Prize. That's one of the highest global prizes, just because she was able to become a global ambassador for conflict in her community. The need for us to do this is because there is a solution through it to foster a community that can produce the best minds in law, medicine, politics, and other several professions. I believe with synergy and a common goal, we can create change in our various communities. As we are being commissioned into the MindShift Foundation as advocates and ambassadors, I encourage everyone to find passion in this cause and help make it a global case study to resolve global conflict issues. Thank you, stay blessed, and welcome to the MindShift Foundation.